Good afternoon, everybody. So recently, I had a friend ask about waiting to buy a new home until the next recession hit, with concerns, obviously, that we could be heading into one later this year. So I wanted to do a quick video on here talking about the impacts of a recession on housing, on the housing market. So as you'll see from the first slide behind me here, um, the housing prices do not always fall during a recession. In fact, in 4 of the last 6 recessions, housing prices have gone up. The exceptions being in 91 when there was a small decrease, and then in 2008, where obviously that recession was caused by the housing bubble crash, and therefore there was a big drop. But that is not the rule, right? That is the exception. The one thing that does fall in every recession so far really has been mortgage rates. So obviously we've seen a big increase in mortgage rates from our, where they've been for the last 8 to 10 years. But we're approaching kind of the long-term average for mortgage rates. But in each of the last 6 recessions, mortgage rates have fallen, and that's because the Fed will reduce the Fed funds rate in order to try and jumpstart the economy. And those have direct impacts on what lenders will provide rate-wise for mortgages. So ultimately, pros and cons of buying during a recession. So obviously, people are in a difficult financial position in many cases in a recession, and so you may have less competition. There could be some lower prices. I mean, the first slide we saw kind of debunks that that is something you can count on, but there probably will be less bidding wars, I would expect, than we're seeing today. One thing you probably can count on is mortgage rates coming down a little bit. So, on the other side of the fence, mortgage companies start tightening their requirements usually during recessions, making it a little bit harder to borrow. Sellers will often hold off from putting their houses on the market. So we may even have a further inventory decrease. And generally, the economic uncertainty of a recession may affect you as well. If you're a seller, realistically, there's no benefit in waiting for the recession. Now is a hot seller's market if you decide you want to take advantage of it. Anyway, if you need any help or you have any questions, please reach out to me. My number is 484-442-0295.